Welcome back to the pile. Hope you enjoyed your stay in the end phase, because in this video we're going to be going over some of your flowery criticisms and comments about Duel Devastator. Before we start this video, I just have a couple of minor updates and housekeeping to keep you informed with. I will be attending YCS Fort Worth this weekend, which will be my first ever brother United States of America free YCS. Boy, am I excited to eat some burgers and ride horses. And do you guys have horses at YCSs? Is that a thing? You know, cowboys and like the... to think we used to own that country. So if you see me around the venue, I'll be there all day Friday and Saturday, Sunday, I guess. And if you want to take a picture, get a signed card, or just chat or whatever, more than happy to. Feel free to come say hi. So as you all are aware, I was the one who was lucky enough to be invited down by Konami and given exclusive access to reveal and show the world Duel Devastator and its various reprints, etc, etc. And on September 20th, when that video went up at midnight and you guys went to see what cards were being reprinted and revealed in that set, you all took to social media and do what you do as always, and that's discuss things in a very healthy, productive, and civilized manner. Really? So much box for so simple cardboard? It is a deception. You should have told them thanks for making more useless product. That entire box is garbage. Do us all a favor and eat a goddamn bullet. I hope we get more trash this year. The only thing devastating is the number of bad reprints. Okay, that last one was pretty funny. I get it. But I'd rather you criticize fairly and honestly quite accurately, because some of the things I've seen are just ridiculous. Why is Super Poly in there but no fusion cards? That's not how any of this works. That's not how... no. And before we begin, I just want you to know that I went down to Konami HQ upon my own volition, using my own money, and I wasn't paid anything for that reveal. I did so because I wanted to, and because me and the people there agreed that it would be a mutually beneficial thing for the community if you guys were given some kind of early set reveal through myself. So I am not being held at gunpoint here or something, being told to defend this or whatever. I just feel like I wanted to say something about this topic. You're a shill! You disgust me! And by the way, I don't have some kind of special secret relationship with Konami now. Other than, of course, my brothers, sisters, uncles, cousins, nephews, third removed sisters, brother's son. He actually works for Konami and told me that on October 17th at 6 p.m. UK time, Shockmasters are finally getting unlocked. I would never leak such sensitive information as that. For legal reasons, that's a joke. Remember to comment, like, and subscribe, especially like, because like si hablas español. Yup. Español está muy queso et je suis un grande Altergeistspieler. But yes, it's very important that you give this video a thumbs up and leave a like and share around and subscribe, etc, etc. Now I'm going to give you some actual mathematical proof here to be able to see that Duel Devastator isn't in fact just a good set. It is an incredible set. It is absolutely worth buying if you are interested in even a third of the cards in here. I feel like the majority of the complaints that really come down to this is, why is there no Phantasme? Why is there no evenly matched? I want evenly matched and Solemn Judgment and Impermanence and Savage Dragon and Boral Sword. And believe me, I would have loved to have seen Infinite Impermanence and Phantasme and Judgment and evenly matched and all of those amazing cards in this set as well. And I would have loved to have seen those in place of Catastar. Listen, don't put some respect on my boy's name, because that boy was out there making big board presences and standing his ground about 7 years ago. But times have changed and we've moved on, and Catastar's great, but maybe not something we needed. But that's okay, because guess what? Someone out there probably wanted some of these reprints that you might, as a competitive player, see as perhaps a little bit lackluster. This is something that exists in every single card game industry. The idea that there has to be somewhat lackluster cards and cards that perhaps are perceived as to be the absolute most amazing reprints ever, like Tikaboo or Bomber Dragon or Saryuya, for example, in this set, because that makes those cards even more worthwhile and more exciting when you do get to have them from that set. That's why not all 100 cards in a set are insane, amazing staples. Like, that's just the very psychology and fundamental of card game product. This might be a bit of a difficult pill for you to understand, but that's how it works. There isn't a card game on this planet that doesn't follow this exact business model. But again, like I said, I would love to see Infinite Impermanence and Phantasme in here, but there's another argument for why Infinite Impermanence and Phantasme might not necessarily have been picked for and best suited for this set. Now, number one is that Phantasme, for example, was only released this year. Back in Savage Strike, amazing, awesome staple card. That thing's like 60 euros or something. It's insane. It's a great card. It's awesome. Like, playable in basically every single deck except Burning Abyss, because it blows up your Burning Abyss. But, you know, not everyone is playing the best deck in the game for some reason. I would have loved to have personally seen it, but there are arguments against it. And number one is the very fundamental thing to card games, and that is the collectability. If you are going to be spending money on a product, you want the cards that you pull from that product to have a sense of value long-term, to an extent at least, because we know that reprints happen, and this specifically is something that we know is fundamental to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card game. Think about it this way, right? It's like the catch-22 fallacy. It doesn't really matter what Konami could have put in this freaking box. Like, they could have given you, like, two-way ticket to the Bahamas with a hotel and 5-star spa, and someone would be like, I wanted to go to Ibiza instead. It's just too warm. Like, there's people out there who will complain regardless of what Konami did. But the most pressing and sort of valid argument I can see in this regard is probably the fact that, well, you know, Phantasme is a collectible card, and seeing a card that you pulled or you purchased at the time of release and got some mileage out of in various local tournaments, etc., for it to just be reprinted in a guaranteed 100% set like 6 months later is probably a little bit disheartening. And in terms of long-term investing in Yu-Gi-Oh!, why would those people who spent money on those Phantasmes initially ever want to spend money initially on a new set in the future? Like, if the new core set 2 sets from now is like the best deck, and then it just gets reprinted a few months later, like, that's really disappointing for a lot of people. I can guarantee you, if Phantasme was in Duel Devastator, plenty of people would have complained about how soon it was and that they should not have printed it. But you're not understanding that in a card game, it is important that collectability is something that is valued and pursued by the parent company. This is why a company like Magic has even gone as so far to the other extreme and made a reserve list to, like, never reprint cards. Not that I'm saying that's something that's good or should be in Yu-Gi-Oh!, but, like, to give you an example, like, this is not something unique here. And I think there has to be some kind of balance, and I think it's fair that Phantasme probably shouldn't have been reprinted here because it's its first year of competitive play, and I would personally like to see the people who did get those initial Phantasmes and who did invest get rewarded for their loyalty. Now, Infinite Impermanence, you're probably wondering about that one. Infinite Impermanence got a reprint in Dual Power very recently, and you're probably wondering, well, they could have just reprinted it again because, you know, Pankratops has had, like, the 9th reprint in the space of, like, a year. I get it. But again, not every single last card can be an absolute insane, mind-blowing staple like, you know, the Catastor or the number 101 Shark. Like, obviously, these cards are not going to be as desirable as Pankratops or Saryuya, Bomber Dragon, Tikaboo, Lancia, Valor. Like, these are generally better cards. But I think this really comes down to just how sometimes we as people view situations. If I was to hold up, like, a white sheet of paper and show you it, you would probably look at it and be like, oh, white sheet of paper. But if I was to put a little tiny red dot on it, the first thing that you would notice would be, oh, that's a red dot. You wouldn't notice that the entire, like, white sheet of paper is there. You would be fixated on that little thing. Take a step back and appreciate that Pankratops, Lancia, Valor, DD Crow, all the Ghost Girls, a Red Root Blossom, whatever her name is, Import is here, Mind Control, Super Poly, Solemn Strike, Wiretap, Typhoon. These are all just great individual cards. Like, just relax for a second and just appreciate that, like, 99% of the cards in this set are amazing. Now, you're probably wondering about where's this mathematical scientific proof that this set is actually good. Well, if you head on over to the average, you know, card market seller, we can see here that we have the price of all of these cards currently in the game, and then we can see their dude pre-order number, by the way, not the actual final price that they're eventually going to drop to. But you see here, like, every single Duel Devastator reprint is going to be less expensive than a not dude card. So basically, TLDR, you're going to be spending for not dude 287 euros for 3 of every single card in here. Or if you just want every single card in Duel Devastator that isn't from the Duel Devastator box itself, you're going to be paying 95 euros. Whereas you could just pay, you know, the retail price of Duel Devastator, which is like 25. 3 packs of Duel Devastator is probably going to cost you 75, like 15 shipping. That's like 90 to 100 euros for 3 Duel Devastator from Card Market, compared to a playset of every other card in Duel Devastator, like not from Duel Devastator, almost 300 euros including shipping. And these are from like all different sellers and stuff like that. And they're going to be like not like perfect condition, like straight out the box, etc., etc. And of course, I understand that buying the singles is going to be cheaper. Obviously, and that's not what I'm arguing. Singles are always going to be cheaper than buying the product. But the point is like Duel Devastator is very good for money. Like you are literally paying like a third, maybe even like a quarter less if you just buy Duel Devastator instead of buying the individual cards that are currently available. So if you don't have a large portion of those cards, it is a very, very solid pickup. So in conclusion, Duel Devastator, I think, is a great pickup if you don't have any of these cards and you want to get like some of the alt arts and you don't have a bunch of side cards that everyone else has been collecting over the last year. Not every set in this game is for you. Some sets are going to be for newer and casual players. Some sets going to be for the more competitive players. Some sets are going to be for, you know, Rocket fans. Like not everyone wanted to buy Rocket structure deck because not everyone wants to play Rockets, etc., etc. That's just natural. Not every single thing in a product line is going to be individually tailored for yourself. I think I've given somewhat, not really arguments for, but kind of shown you the other side. Anyway, thanks for listening to me ramble on this long. I appreciate it. As always, do leave a comment, like, and subscribe. It means a lot and helps a lot and does a lot for the channel. Thank you, everyone. Until next time, I'll see you in the end phase. Adios.
We've been spending most our lives